Hey everyone, this is Castillo, and welcome back to today's version of Bible Bites. I have a question for you. Are you making the most of your sonship? That's right, sonship. What exactly is sonship? Well, you first need to understand that before time ever began, before the foundation of the world, God had a plan that every human being born of the Spirit would be called sons. That process was established before time ever began as a covenant that God made with Himself, that mankind would be created in His own image. That first son was Adam. If you read again the account of creation in Genesis, you will see that Adam was born of the earth, and God breathed His Spirit into Adam. It was at that time that Adam became a living spirit and experienced sonship. That sonship involved having ownership of everything that belonged to God and having constant communion with the Father. At that point in time, the earth, the title to the earth, was given to Adam. At that time, Adam enjoyed walking through the garden with the Father during the cool of the day. They had unbroken fellowship, constant communion. And we all know what happened. Adam committed treason. As a result of that treason, mankind fell under a curse. And it was that way for many miserable years, thousands of years. Mankind lived under the curse. Well, you fast forward and you come to the point in time where Jesus, Son of Man, Son of God, is introduced. He shows up on the scene and demonstrates to us what it's like to be a Son of God, to have unbroken fellowship, and to exist, to have a quality of life that shows us that we walk in power and authority, and that everything that the Father has belongs to us. Well, this video that you're watching is simply an introduction to you of a sermon that I gave several weeks ago. And the title of that sermon is, Are You Making the Most of Your Sonship? And that sonship involves covenant, and it involves an inheritance, a precious inheritance. But I believe there are many of us within the body who don't really make the most of that sonship because we have no idea what it involves and how to live it out, because we've never fully studied the life of Christ. Yeah, I know, we've read the Gospels, we've heard it preached, but I challenge you to read the Gospels again from the perspective of trying to imitate Jesus. If you were to be cast in the role for another movie on the life of Christ, chances are, if you're a good actor, you'd want to pick one of the Gospels, probably the Gospel of Matthew, and you would study everything he said, everything he did, and understand why. You want to get things from his perspective to be able to play out the role as an actor. Well, fortunately for us, we don't have to play out a role as an actor. We can live life as Christ lived it if we fully understand what sonship is all about. And that's what this sermon, I believe, if you listen to it, will introduce you to and will spark your interest and challenge you, actually. So I want to thank you today for tuning into today's Bible Bites about sonship. And if you're curious, there's an audio that's attached to this file that's been made available for you. And if you listen to it again and you take the time to reread the gospel and study the life of Christ, I believe you'll see that there's so much to this element of sonship that we have not really taken advantage of that we really should. And as a result, we will begin to live a quality of life that the world will be able to see. Their attention will be halted from the mundane life that they're living, and they'll want to know, what is this life that they're living? These so-called sons of God. What is that like? How do I get that? And that is the purpose for this message that I put together regarding the sonship of Christ. I hope you enjoyed, and I thank you again for tuning into this version of Bible Light. Be blessed.